Hello and welcome back to the final installment of this kind of rapid fire urgent reviews video series that I'm doing while I'm traveling. And this was just so that I could get the info to the people. So we have already reviewed the new Patrick Ta, the new Natasha Denona palette, and Singe Beauty blushes. So if you haven't watched those are there too. But today we're going to be doing an absolute speed run of all the new tinted lip balms, okay? And I mean, by new, I mean, I guess I just didn't include them in my last tinted lip balm video. And I've been getting a ton of requests, and I'm going to go through and apply a lot of them. Not all of them, but as many of them as I can. And we're going to talk through all the formulas and what I think of them. So let's go ahead and jump in. I have Violette, Lisa Eldridge. I have a new lipstick from Mauve Beauty. There are a couple of lipsticks in here. I have the ones from Ravie, the new 3 shades from Ali Glines' line. I'm wrong on the pronunciation there. It's Ravie. Delighted in French. I'm just behind. I apologize. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I have the Victoria Beckham. I have Honest Beauty sent me a couple of them, but I wore one in a video and everybody flipped out, and so I figured I'll try them on. And then I have the new lipstick from Dior. I'm gonna include the Fenty one that we already did. I ordered the Clarins one. It came a long time ago. I don't know what I did with it. It is extraordinarily mid. I'm personally really excited to try. This is the only first impression in the whole thing. Did I order accidentally this same order twice? Do I have 2 of each of the 2 shades that I ordered? Yes, and they wouldn't cancel my order, but I have 2 of the shades from Violette, and I'm very excited about them, okay? Violette FR has been a brand that I have wanted to like so much. For whatever reason, they just never come out with a formula or a color that like blows my mind, with the exception of a couple of their blushes. Like there are 3 shades of their blushes, and those blushes are incredible. But I have here Bonbon Caramel and Aisa, and these are the Bisou Jelly Sheer Lip Shine. So this is Bonbon Caramel. Ooh, they smell good. They smell kind of like vanilla. So you can see they have the pigment in the middle. They're stiff. They're not like melty. The idea of putting it in the center of the clear balm is a gimmick, because I think it would work better if it were just all mixed together, but I love that. I think it just has vanillin in it, so it doesn't really taste like anything intentional, but it does smell pleasantly of vanilla, and that color is absolutely ridiculous. It's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the nude-ish, you know, the beigey color of their Bisou balm, but that one, the packaging was a lot less reliable than this, I think, and so it opened up my bag, it collected everything, and also it just wasn't as comfortable of a formula. This is extremely comfortable. Very, very freaking pretty. Now, bear in mind, it is nestled in a face of makeup that is decidedly tangerine, you know, in terms of warmth. So it is very bonbon caramel. It is not like a soft beige. It just happens to go with this face of makeup because I'm literally wearing persimmon colored blush. Bonbon caramel. And then this is Aisa. Ooh, yeah. So Aisa is the kind of the berry colored blush. But you can see, again, it's like you gotta kind of move it around to get the color on the lips. Feels like a gimmick. They're stiff, but I like that. I mean, I like it that like it's got grip to it when it's on the lips, you know? That's not really my shade. And I don't love that, since the little bullseye shape that it is, it's like you really gotta work on it to get it everywhere. Not my favorite thing. It's pretty. That's not my shade. And it doesn't really go with this makeup look. I could make it work by putting it with, you know, a bunch of things that are tonal, but I do like the formula. I think that it is very pretty. I don't think anybody's gonna be disappointed buying these, because they don't really taste like anything, and they only smell just very faintly of the like the vanillin that's technically like a nourishing ingredient that's in there. And if you have a shade in there that you like, I think that these are really pretty. They're just kind of a pain in the butt to get like all spread out, but if you kind of like dig the whole experience, because the whole experience is really nice, then you know, I think that they're cute and worth it. Like I enjoy it. That is those. I think that they're quite lovely, and I will definitely definitely continue using Baume Caramel. Next, I want to talk about these Victoria Beckham ones because they are just out of the gate a little bit disappointing to me, but that's because I did not have the proper expectations, and that is that when these came out, I did not know that they were pH color adjusting, pH adaptive, meaning that no matter what the color is in the tube, you're going to get a much more pink version of it because the pH is going to transform back into its original form, and that original form is always berry pink, and that means that, like, you know, this pink color, this purple color, this red color are still all going to be kind of some form of hot pink, which is very disappointing because they're very pretty when they go on the lips. I think that the colors themselves are beautiful before they transform, and then they transform and it's kind of annoying. I will start with Glacé, which is the clear, which does not have any pH adjusting qualities to it. And for that, I am very grateful. It is also stiff and grippy in a way that feels incredibly tenacious. It feels very intentional. It's not like brittle feeling, you know, it's not like, oh, what were they thinking? It's very, once it's on, you could wear that to bed, you know? It's just a really nice moisture layer. Like, that's how it feels. It feels waterproof. There's just something really lovely about it, which is like makes it that much more heartbreaking that all of these shades are color adjusting. So I'll show you. I think that we will go with Cassis because it was the color that I liked the most when I put it on, and then I watched it change and I was like, that's very annoying. But there's no like nude in this line, and that should have been the dead giveaway, honestly. There's no like beige, because you can't do a beige that's pH color adjusting. It'll just turn pink. So, extraordinarily pretty. Is that color not absolutely gorgeous? It reminds me a lot of Aisa. Over the next few minutes, if I allow it to, it's gonna turn hot pink, and it's just not my favorite thing. Like, I would much rather it just stay this beautiful Cassis color, but it doesn't. That's very disappointing, but the clear is lovely, and if you do like a pH color adjusting shade, I will say it's subtle. You do end up with something that not every one of them looks exactly the same, but I still would rather it just didn't change at all, you know? Okay, let's talk about the 3 new shades from Ravie. So we have Rose, Poppy, and Peony, because before we had Tulip, Dahlia, and Lily, which are all somewhere in here. But we're just gonna talk about the 3 new ones here because I am a Lily, I wanna say, girl through and through. Like the beige is like the best lipstick color ever. And if you're unfamiliar with these are lipsticks. These are specifically lipsticks, but they smell incredible. This is just the daintiest, most like luxurious feeling little package to interact with. They're just elegant, and the formula is incredible. So her putting out 3 new shades in this is exciting because it's more people who can use it. But I will say, this release is not full of shades that are for me. Like, that is a coral that is going neon pink on me, which is kind of my least favorite thing for a coral to do. Again, not a flaw in the formula. It's just a shade that, like, if I'm gonna have a coral, I want it to be more muted than that, and or I want it to be more orange than that. So it's just not the most flattering color on me. But you can see it's just a really nice balmy formula. I mean, there are plenty of like tinted lip balms that claim to be tinted lip balms that have just as much pigment to them. The formula on these is also a little on the stiff side, like in a good way. Firm. I shouldn't say stiff. It's still very creamy. I haven't tried this one yet. This is Peony. Look, it's like brand new. I didn't realize I hadn't put that one on yet. So, ooh. Okay, it's kind of like a cool desaturated pink. It's going a little bit mauve. I love that. Still pink though, my God. Still so pink. Olive undertone folks who do well with something that goes a little bit purple in order to get to pink, this is great. But I do still prefer the first release. The formula though can do no wrong. Do no wrong. And then we'll go with Rose, which I think is like my worst shade ever. I think it's like a pink red. So, oh, that one's brand new too. How do I even know? How do I even know? How do I even know? It's like I'm talking out of my butt. Let's see. Nope, somehow I knew. That's a pink red. Yep, candy apple red is my worst color. I look so ridiculous. I know. I don't look ridiculous. I shouldn't talk down on myself, but like, I look like I've been playing in my mom's purse, you know what I mean? Like as a kid. Again, this is not a flaw to Allie's release. This is not even a criticism. It's just a reality of color. And that is that the first release of the first 3 shades, they pretty much all work on me, and all 3 of these don't. That's not actually the worst thing in the world. It really isn't. There are better shades for me, let's be real, but I love the formula. I keep saying that, but I love it. So thank you to Allie for sending me those. And when I say Allie, like they literally, like the return address says Allie Glines on it. It doesn't say Ravie Beauty. So thank you, Allie. Let's talk next about the Lisa Eldridge lip balms because they're incredible. They're basically like if Violette had bothered to mix them together, and if Victoria Beckham had decided that she wasn't going to make them pH color adjusting. They're perfect, okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think the colors are a fantastic choice. I think there's really something for everyone, and it's not just because I'm biased because I'm in love with Lisa. I am biased and I am in love with Lisa, but I will also say that there are things in her line that work better than others kind of thing. You know, we are two different people, but this is a perfect release, okay? It just is. They're gorgeous. I have talked about them on my channel before, but we haven't done like a dedicated, I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on them. They don't really smell like anything, which is nice. They don't really taste like anything. They're creamy. They're less stiff than either of the Violette or the Victoria Beckham. This happens to be Sweet Fig. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with Sweet Fig? Look at that color. Yeah, Sweet Fig is that girl, not gonna lie. But you know, we have here like Red Curve. She does do some of the most beautiful reds on planet Earth, but they're red. You know what I mean? Like I get red from a fair from her. Like that's what turns red on my skin. If you haven't watched my how to find your best red lip video, I will link it below. But like basically the cut to the chase, like when I'm low contrast as I am, you put on something that isn't red to get red, and red itself can kind of look bananas. So this is red itself, but it is such a beautiful balm, and it is kind of an orange red. It's like a pure red. It's not blue. And they're so comfortable. So it's not as pink as the one that we just tried from Ravie Beauty. As you can see, it's gonna be a little bit more like fiery, but it's not all the way to Dragon, which is one of her like orange lip colors. It's super easy to wear. It's really shiny and gorgeous. I feel like as reds go, as like true reds go, that's the closest someone has gotten to something that I feel really, really comfortable in because it's got enough orange in it. Absolutely beautiful. That's Red Curve. It's really pretty, isn't it? I like that she kind of didn't over fuss this formula. I mean, I'm sure she over fussed it in the sense that it is fussed to perfection, but there's no gimmicks to it. Like it's not gonna try and do any weird technological stuff while I'm not looking. Here we have Epinouille, and this is a mauve that I also love. It's not gonna go very well with this face of makeup because I've gone so warm with the makeup, but this is definitely a color I can wear. This is much more the kind of pink that I can wear because it has that desaturated purple thing to it. I think it's just dialed in. It's so elegant. It's so sophisticated. So beautiful, ridiculous. And then finally, I think that there's only 5. I'm not sure. If they have more than that, I only was able to locate 5 of them. I counted and I counted again, Kackie, and that's only 4. This one is Metropolis, and it is like this kind of deep purple that is translucent, so it's gonna really differ on what color your lips are. On me, you can see that it does have quite a bit of contrast, and it can even look a little bit gray, but then as it kind of settles in, your eyes get used to it, you know? And it just kind of looks, it's sort of the equivalent of like a black lip balm, where it just sort of like alters and deepens your natural lip color. Metropolis is really, really cool. I love it. I love all of them. I really, really do. That's why I applied all of them. I love how sure I am that I applied all of them when meet cute is just not in the conversation. She's also lovely. All right, now we just have kind of one-offs. I wanted to touch briefly. We talked about this in another video, but I want to touch briefly on the Prada Lip Balm. Apparently this is viral because Sabrina Carpenter put it on at one point, and she can really pull off pink, right? Because she's like Barbie, walking Barbie. But I mean, it's very pH color adjusting. It's just a gimmick, you know? It's an okay lip balm. It's better than the green one, but I don't love something that turns pink like that. And I also really just don't want my lip balms to smell like that. If I'm going to put up with that smell, I want it to be for their gorgeous lipstick formulas. They are so pretty. It is funny how I'm willing to put up with that smell when their lipsticks are, because their lipsticks are just so good. This is, I don't think this is really a lip balm, but it kind of looks like one, but this is the new Dior Addict. That's all it says. And this is the shade Diorette. Oh yeah, that's definitely in the same line as like a tinted balm. It's kind of a tomato red. It's a little less saturated than the Lisa Eldridge, but it still has that little bit of like orange to it that I feel like is making it wearable for me. Extremely comfortable, fragranced, but not the typical Dior fragrance. Actually, it's not the one that like I get from the foundation and stuff like that. Maybe, is this Dior Backstage technically? No, this is Christian Dior. It smells like fruit. It doesn't really taste like anything. It's beautiful. Look at that color. Oh my God. Yeah, I like that. It's got just like this much coral to it. And again, that's a Diorette. It's so pretty. Boop. Oh, love. Love. I treated like that was a first impression. It's like, no, I put it on a while ago. I just couldn't remember. So there you go. The other one is really interesting because this is actually just a matte lipstick, but I needed to address it because this came through in PR from Mauve Beauty, and it was like this weird, they called it Lipstick Gate. I don't know where the first one went, but this is like the one, oh yes, I do. Yeah, they had 2 of them, right? And it was like the wrong color got put out the first time. I haven't even opened the quote unquote wrong one yet. So let's see. I kind of feel like it was a put on. Like I feel like it was like a fake Crisis. Yeah, so they're 2 different colors. So this was like the wrong one, and this is what it was supposed to be. And it's supposed to be kind of the concealer lips trend. So we'll use the one that it's supposed to be, but it is M154. And then this is M154B, which is I think the correct one. This is Kackie from Thrive. This is my namesake lip liner for good reason, because it's perfect for my lips. But this is very much meant to be used with a lip liner. We're going back to the quote unquote concealer lips. It's funny, I never really like considered the really pale nude lipstick trend to be quote unquote concealer lips. Like I never thought people were actually putting concealer on their lips. I've always loved the look of like a really, really deep smoky eye with a completely blanked out lip, but I never thought of it as concealer lips, you know? So this is supposed to be like a concealer lips thing. It is in collaboration with a creator. I'll put their name on the screen because I don't remember, but it's a look, you know? And I used to wear the shade Stephanie, which I'm afraid has been discontinued, I'm not sure, from Thrive, and it was very similar to this, maybe a little bit more wearable. But now that I've wiped so many lip colors off and sort of reddened around my mouth, I feel like that's looking even extra strange, but you know, that's the idea. It's a little bit pink compared to the rest of my face, but I think that it is effective. It's very pretty. Again, it's like something I'd want to wear with like a really, really deep socket and like not very much blush. So it's a look and I like it. The formula is nice. I already knew that though. And they do have a shade that I like better in more of like a lip balm formula. So I will link that below if I can find it because it tends to go out of stock a lot. So the only other thing that I have, I have the Fenty Glow is the name of the shade. And this is the Gloss Balm Stix. And I just used this in a previous video. They're very high pigment and they're really, really creamy and glossy and lovely. They do have the Fenty smell. And the Fenty smell is something that I'm not a huge fan of. I did find though, this particular formula, if it only bothers you a little bit, if the smell only bothers you a little bit, the smell is not as strong in this as it is in the gloss, and I don't taste it. It's like it kind of seals over. It has a better grip than the gloss. I still don't think that like, if it bugs you at all, it's innocuous. Like it is definitely there. And I feel like that's a huge drawback. Someone said it was peach vanilla. I was like, what? Like if that was the design, was that it was supposed to be peach vanilla? No, it has this kind of like rancid floral thing to me. It's yucky. And the comments, I am not alone. But what a shame, because God, is that pretty? I still just come back to Lisa. And then the last 2, which are not new at all, and I have actually owned them in the past, but they offered to send them to me and I was like, okay. And everyone had a fit over this. I remember how much I like this shade. This is Lychee Fruit Tinted Lip Balm from Honest Beauty. I know, drugstore, me, who, what? It's like back from my clean beauty days. This is one of the prettiest colors because it's like a super muted peach, you know, but it's a balm. I adore it. And if my lips weren't so already irritated from wiping it off all the time, you'd be able to see that it's even like less saturated than this. My lips are just red behind it right now, but it's so muted and gorgeous. Doesn't smell like anything, doesn't taste like anything. So there's that. A lot of people asked. A lot of people were like, what is that on your lips? And I was like, it's linked. And then I also have Plum Drop. This will be the last one here. These are not, thank God, pH color adjusting. And so you're getting that same beautiful, the Aisa of it all, the Cassis of it all, in a really, really comfortable and affordable lip balm from Honest Beauty. Now, is that packaging, you know, anywhere near as luxurious as like the other big three that I was concentrating on today? Absolutely not. Like, it looks and feels like drugstore, but the formula inside is lovely. I could see someone loving them. If you want my opinion, it is Lisa Eldridge all the way. I hope y'all found this valuable, this speed run. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. If you are new here and you enjoyed this, again, we kind of usually take a longer winded approach to things. I'm a little more chaotic than this. I know that that's hard to believe, but if you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed this, subscribe while you're here. I promise I always try to make my content as useful as possible. I will put a video up here that I think you'll enjoy if you like this one, and I will see y'all in the next one, probably, hopefully, a long form, because I'll be back in the saddle. So thank you for bearing with me. I love y'all. Bye.